So this is the third short film that I've put together dealing with developing a home practice. And the first two were really about the breath and the movement and how we put those things together. And if you haven't seen those, then it's really worth going back and checking them out, because it's going to really inform this video and the way that we're going to be practicing. Today's is a practice that we might do perhaps in the morning to wake the body up, and just very generally a really great start to the day. And like our other short practice that we did, it can be as long or as short as you want. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the movements and we'll look at the sequence of the movements, and then as you begin to develop those and learn those, you can then make them as long as you want to. So today we're going to start our practice standing. So super important at the beginning of any practice is that we just have a moment of stillness and we allow ourselves to settle. So in this instance we're going to feel the feet very firmly on the ground beneath us. The knees are soft, sort of heavy in the hips. Release the side body, release the shoulders, and just tuck the chin slightly, and you can either soften the gaze or close the eyes completely and just take a moment. And develop the awareness of everything within that moment. So any sounds that come to you, the sensations of our clothing against our skin or the mat beneath us, even the temperature of the room that we're in, just really familiarise yourself with those. And just as we did before, we're going to then take our attention to our breath. So we're going to start developing the rhythm of breath that we did in the first two videos. So it's going to be the 4 parts of the breath are going to be recognised. Each ratio of the breath is going to be nice and even. The inhale and the exhale are going to be of a similar length. And we're also going to engage Ujjayi. So we're going to have that audible ocean breath. And we're going to use that just to draw us in. But another tool that we can use is the movement of the breath. So if we would put one hand on our belly and one hand on our chest, we'd also notice that in the inhale we have the lifting. It's almost as if the hands separate, and then as we exhale we soften, the chest drops, belly draws in, and the hands gently draw back in together again. So not only can we follow the sound of the Ujjayi, but we can also follow the movement. And we can use those two things to really start to center ourselves. So the first movement is one that you should be familiar with. So we're going to allow the arms to be soft by the sides, chin slightly tucked. We've got our rhythm of breath in place. So as we inhale, and we can feel the breath begin to lift us, lift the spine, lift the rib cage, we're just going to take the arms up to the very top of the breath, where there's that little moment of stillness. Exhale, and let them come back down again, and just rest gently at our sides. Inhale, coming up to the top, we're opening up the side body here, reaching up to the top of the breath. Exhale, coming back down again. And once again, you can do this as many times as feel good to you, fitting that movement into the breath. And then when you're finished, simply bring the arms to the sides and stay with the breath. Just take a few rounds of breath, noticing all the sounds, feeling any sensations within that breath. So the second movement, very similar to the first movement, a little bit more dynamic. So just to demonstrate that regardless how large or small the movement is, we're able to fit it into the breath. So we have our nice rhythm of breath. Inhale rises so the arms reach up, side body lengthens into the fingertips. Then as we exhale, we're going to allow the knees to soften, let the spine soften, and gently we'll come down to the very bottom of the breath, registering that moment, then pushing into the feet, taking us back up to the top of the breath. Again, the breath just falls away very naturally, and we end up at the bottom of the breath. There's that little space. Inhale, push through the feet, roll back up to the body, takes us back to the top of the breath. Exhale, hands come to our sides. And again, just a moment to rest, a little bit of appreciation. So it's a more dynamic movement, but it still fits in with the breath. So the breath is guiding us in our practice. So the next movement in this sequence, we're going to inhale, it's going to take us to the top of the breath. Exhale, we'll come back to releasing the spine, and then we're going to allow the left knee to bend, and the left hand can either touch the ground, or it can be on the ankle or the foot, or we can lift up a little bit more if necessary. Then as we inhale, we're going to take a twist, and the right arm lifts right up to the top of the breath. Exhale, as it softens down again, the right knee bends, the left one moves to straight, right hand replaces the left hand, and the left hand reaches up for its twist. So again, just gently flowing through with the breath, registering all four parts. And as many rounds as feels good to you. Eventually finishing with both knees bent. On the inhale, push into the feet, roll up through the body, shoulders lift, chin lifts. Exhale, release the arms, shoulders are soft, and we're right back where we started. But release the breath this time and just become aware again of any sensations that we might feel outside of the body and inside. Now that we've started to introduce more dynamic movement, the body starts to wake up. And keep our attention with our breath, trying to avoid any distraction. So just demoing that twist from the side, the inhale, the arms have come up to the top of the breath. Exhale, we're taking a fold forward, allowing the knees to bend so the spine is arched, the neck is soft, and then we're going to draw this left leg towards straight, and the right arm just gently pushes into the mat, or it can be on our ankle. And as we inhale, we open the chest and we stack the shoulders, or whatever movement's available to us. Exhale, releasing down. One hand replaces the other. Left knee bends, right leg moves towards straight. We'll take our twist on the other side. Exhale, it returns back again. And when you've finished your rounds of that twist, here we are, soft in our dangle, and then just inhale, pushes through the feet, and we roll up. And once again, shoulders are soft, and we'll release the breath and just take a few moments. So we can easily connect the first few movements into a gentle flow. I'll just demonstrate. So we can come up to the top, exhale down to the bottom, bend that left knee, inhale, straighten the right leg, switch to the other side, exhale to the bottom of the breath, Inhale takes us back up again. Exhale takes us down. So we can see how that we can connect things and we can start to move with them as we become more familiar with them. So we'll meet at the front of the mat. We move into the next posture. We're going to step back with the right leg. And the right foot lands at about 45 degrees. This left foot forwards and the hips are square. So just take a moment to get the hips the way that you want them, nice and square. If we put our hands on our hips, elbows out, we get a really good indication of whether the hips are actually square. And then we're going to draw this left knee back slightly towards straight, but not locking it out. Let's establish our breath again now. So find that gentle inhale, that lift. Listening to the ujjayi as we reach the top of the breath and just dropping away into the bottom of the breath. And when you feel comfortable that you've established that, then on the inhale, the arms will come up to the top of the breath. As they reach up, side body lengthens, and as we glance upwards, we notice there's a gentle back bend there. Exhale, folding at the waist, reaching the heart forward. We forward fold over the front knee. Now we go as far as the breath takes us, and whatever movement is available to us. Stopping at the bottom of the breath. Inhale takes us back to the top of the breath again. And that gentle back bend. Exhale, heart reaches forward. Fold is at the waist, spine is long, we're reaching forward. Inhale takes us back up again. And maybe we take it 3 times. Again, your choice, as many as you want. And we'll come back up to the top. This time, exhale, finishing the movement, we can soften the knee, release the arms, and we just step forward again and release the breath. And give yourself a few moments tuning into that awareness that we're cultivating through the breath and the movement. Maybe we're finding a stilling of the mind now. And of course, we'll take that on the other side. So stepping back, left foot's about 45 degrees, right foot faces forward, and the right leg draws back towards straight. Hips, square them off. Very difficult to square the hips when we're moving, so if we get them right from the beginning, we'll be set up. Then come back to the breath, find that nice rhythm. When you're ready, we'll take the inhale up, exhale, we reach forward. Inhale takes us back up, and again, whatever movement's available to you. Maybe you can come right forward. Maybe it's just going to be very gentle. But as long as we move with the breath, and then release, and stepping forward. So that's the standing part of our practice done. We're now going to move into all fours. So we're going to find ourselves hands nice and wide, fingers open. We're going to feel the base of all the fingers and the thumb, and we're going to have all the joints stacked. So it's wrists, elbows, shoulders, hips and knees all nicely stacked. And we can allow our feet either to be long, toes tucked, whatever feels right for us, and let's just make sure that we feel, again, that sort of sense of comfort and stability, so that we can move from this place with a sort of sense of assurance. And we need to come back to the breath now. So simple movement is cat-cow. So we're going to roll the elbows in, reach the heart forward, lift the chin. So there's our inhale there. And a little stop at the top of the breath. Exhaling, elbows roll out, chin tucks, gentle push into hands, activates the upper back, and then we draw the belly into the spine. And then there's that moment as the breath has left the body, and then just coming back into that inhale. So a great movement, cat-cow. A great way to come back to the breath when we've made our way to the mat. So we'll meet back in our back flat, still staying with our breath, allowing the tops of the feet to lie flat to the mat. On your next exhale, allow the hips to travel back towards the heels and reach forward with the hands. So feeling the length in the spine, side body once again opening up. Just stay with our breath. Next movement, I'm going to pick up the left hand, just skip it off to the left hand side of the mat. The right hand land comes across and lands on the top, and then draw back the right hip. A little push into the left knee. We can feel the whole of the side body start to open just a little bit more. Some gentle flexion comes to the spine. Keep following the breath, feeling it swell into the side body. Exhale, feel that release. Can the hips travel a little further back to the heels? Option to stay here for as many rounds of breath as feels good to us. And then on the inhale, the right hand comes back onto the mat, left hand joins it, and we take the hips to the heels again. Several rounds of breath here, just allowing ourselves to settle, and then we'll go ahead and take that on the other side. So the inhale lifts us up, right hand skips across off of the mat, left hand joins it, draw the left hip back, just gently pushing into the right knee. So the pressures in the knee feel something like even. The hips are square. Just allowing the side body to open and lengthen with the inhale and the exhale. Even breath on either side. And then we can bring the hands back to the center of the mat. Releasing the hips to the heels. Then inhale. Using the hands, we'll just guide ourselves back up to a kneeling position. Bring the hands to the knees. And we'll take the right arm, place it behind us, just behind the right heel. Allow the left hand to join it. So gently settling, coming back to our breath again. So find that nice even breath. And when you've established that, with the inhale, draw the shoulder blades together, roll the elbows in and feel the collars broaden. A little moment at the top of the breath. Exhale. We can release that. Inhale. Allow the body to open. Gentle back bend. Exhale, release it. Option to take it a little bit further. So inhale. We can draw the shoulder blades together, elbows move in, and then we push into the hands and into the shins. The whole of the front of the body opens. We arrive at the top of the breath, and then softening back down, so it's just mirroring the movement that took us up there. Noticing everything as we come into the movement, as the body opens, but also all the sensations as the body softens back down again. And on the next inhale, you can bring yourselves up to kneeling. Release the breath. So we're beginning to move towards the end of the practice. So we can simply drop down onto the right or left hip. The breath is released here. Releasing ourselves down to the mat. When the soles of the feet stay on the mat, the knees point upwards. Arms are down by our sides. And you can keep the breath release here, keep it nice and soft. Exhaling, just gently allow the knees to fall to the right. You can bring the arms out a little, support yourself. Shoulder blades stay on the mat, and maybe we can allow the chin to drift to the left shoulder. And just stay here, gentle with our breath. Allow the body to soften. And sometimes, if we release tension in one area of the body, then we notice that we're holding it in others. So maybe just simply by softening the eyes and softening the jaw, realize that actually we can let go of tension that's in the shoulders. And then that just rolls down through the body. Each time we exhale, noticing that there's another area that we can just let go. And again, hold it as long as you want. There's no rush. Staying with our breath. Eventually, the inhale will take us up to the center, and the exhale will allow the knees to fall to the other side. So once again, just take your time, soft breath, keep the attention with the breath, just working on learning to release tension in the body. And eventually we'll end up back in the center, having done the left side and the right side. And final gentle movement. Let's draw the knees in, give ourselves a little squeeze. Maybe roll the shoulder blades from the mat and take the forehead towards the knees. Nice little squeeze, maybe a rock from side to side. And then exhale, we release the legs and they can belong to the mat. We come to Shavasana. So we can just lie here, experiencing everything that our practice has given us. And to come out of Shavasana, we're just going to raise the knees up so the feet come to the mat again. Allowing the knees to fall to the right. We'll let the whole body roll. And the arm can be used as a pillow. We can take a few moments here in preparation for gently guiding ourselves back to a comfortable seated position. And just take a moment to feel the sit bones heavy, the spine long, shoulders soften. And we're ready to start the day. So as I've kept mentioning, all of the exercises within this short practice can be lengthened or shortened. We can spend as long as we want here. If we've literally just got 10 minutes, then we can move through it. But as long as we find the breath, stay with the breath, movement within the breath, allowing the body to awaken short period at the end just to acknowledge our practice and the way that we feel, that is a fantastic way to start the day. And again, if we were able to do that on a regular basis, a daily basis, maybe connect it with a habit that we already have, then 30, 40 days, if we could manage something like that, we might really begin to feel some long-term benefit. But certainly in the short term, the experience is there to be had. So in the next video, we're going to be looking at something we might do in the evening, very restful, quite restorative, and something which when we eventually go to bed, we haven't woken the body up, but we've allowed the mind to still, and the body is quite soft and relaxed, the nervous system is calm, and hopefully that will aid our sleep.